So David, Ground to Grub, what does it mean to you as a project?
Well, I think it's a very important project because the people with disabilities have really got a lot out of it from the growing aspect, but preparation is the most important of every growing avenue.
Great. And what's been the impact on people that have been involved with the project?
I think their mental health has got better, their social skills have got better. I think their coordination of from and the seed and planting has just got superb.
Yeah. And how does it link into the kitchen? So in terms of also growing space?
With growing space, me and Lynn work hand in hand. So the produce that was produced, the boys would take it up to her and she would cook dinners out of it. It could be anything from soups to a cooked dinner, any salads. We had a lot of salad stuff through the thing. As simple as that, really.
Great. And the future for the project?
If the future is everything needs funding.
Yeah.
But it hasn't got to be a great deal of funding. It's just got to be enough to give people a chance to get on the map.
Yeah, yeah. And a bit about you, how have you grown through the project?
Well, I think I've grown because my talents is not in gardening, but is self-taught. But everybody got hidden talent somewhere, even my boys and girls that I'm teaching, they really get something out of it. Some of them didn't even know what a courgette was or what sort of seeds. And it's just sometimes sitting down, going through this is what the veg we're going to do today, and this is what it's going to grow into. It's just highlighting little points to it.
Right, brilliant. Hey, thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
So Lynn, it's good to meet you. And Ground to Grub, yeah? Just talk me through about the project and what's been good about it.
What's been good about it is the people next door with learning disabilities are growing the items from seed. Fantastic polytunnel, fantastic gardens, well maintained. They're cutting the items, bringing them to me, I'm washing them and cooking them to use in everyday meals that we use in the kitchen to serve to the public.
Right. So what skills are they having from all this? What are they gaining
Well,
from
they're gaining obviously the knowledge of what's growing, what nutrients are from, because we explain that as they bring them up to me.
Yeah.
What nutrients are in there, what they're being put into. So if they're being beetroot up for a chutney, I'll tell them what beetroot chutney is, and then they can taste it once it's cooked. So they get the experience then. But Ground to Grub project with the guys from Able that came into the kitchen with myself, learned food hygiene. They did smoothies the one week, which they thoroughly enjoyed because it's practicing cutting and chopping skills and peeling skills. Really, a lot of these people live independently, so they need this, and they're living on microwave meals. Well, if they learn a little bit about a smoothie and the nutrients from that, they learned a lot about the nutritional value of fruit and veg. A lot of the stuff obviously was from down the bottom, was done the following week for soups. So they learned what they picked, what was in it, how good it was nutritional wise, and how to chop and make the soup out of that at the end product. And they absolutely loved the end product, and they got a certificate then, which I designed myself, to give them a bit of notability about noticing what they've done.
Is it also about valuing food and produce?
Definitely. I dislike waste. I totally dislike waste. I've tried always contacting local businesses, waiting for replies for any food surplus to come here so we can actually make things and even give it free to people, homeless people, whatever. I haven't had any replies as yet, but that's early. But the Ground to Grub project, growing things and then seeing it on a plate is phenomenal.
And finally, plans for the future?
Plans for the future is for the guys that we've been working with in the Ground to Grub project to be undertaking accreditation with Adult Learning Wales for myself, to learn how to do things differently, main meals, so they can actually support themselves in their home or even with their families. Because I need to talk to families as well to say these guys actually have got the ability to be able to cook a produce from scratch, even to help in the kitchen on a day-to-day basis. Some of these people are just, I asked, do they do anything, and no. So they actually, parents don't let them in the kitchen, but having this conversation with parents and carers to say these guys can actually do stuff. And they know where their food is coming from, and to go out shopping. And the good thing for me is one young lady with a smoothie, the week later, she took smoothies home to her family, told her family what she was doing, and the week later when I bought a blender, I was making smoothies for the family. Which she was never allowed to do before. So that's a progression path, and hopefully these guys will be able to be self-sustaining in the kitchen.
Great. Okay, thank you, Lynn. Thank you.
It's just
So started running when we cut it,
Yeah.
So Sabrina, what's been great about this project and the grant from the Torfaen Community Food Fund?
So it's helped us massively deliver food out to the community. So we've delivered surplus using the boxes that you've provided. So picking up the surplus from the different stores and then delivering it out to the food shares, so that's been really helpful. And at Christmas, the cool bags and the aprons and the knives and the everything helped keep things warm and helped to deliver the hot food out to people on Christmas Day. And also the insurance, I wouldn't be able to have any of the volunteers without any insurance, so it's all been very good.
Brilliant. So where have you got to now?
So we've got to the point where we've had our food inspection, and we're getting to the point of training the volunteers to then cook with the surplus. So at some point soon, hopefully, we can start cooking and providing meals for the community as well as just the fresh ingredients.
Also, you've got plans to have a cafe here, is that right?
Yeah, so the cooking the surplus, it means that we can have a pay-as-you-feel cafe. So those that don't have that much money or limited amount of money, they can pay what they feel for the food. So it's not, they don't feel like it's charity and stuff. But also, if they haven't got cooking facilities at home, if their gas has gone off or something like that, they can come here and have a hot meal. So yeah,
Brilliant.
That's our aim anyway.
Good luck for the future.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So Jan, this grant you've had by RCDA, what has that meant for Bethel Chapel?
It's meant everything. Without that grant, this chapel would no longer be in existence. The roof would have come in, we'd have been probably condemned, and that would have been disastrous for us as a membership and Blenavon as a community.
So on the word community, who's coming into the building there? Who's actually using it?
The community, it's seemed to be thriving lately. Since after COVID and we reopened this chapel, we've had quite a few organisations wanting to use it. We have the Over 50s Forum who want to use it on a monthly basis, Blenavon Camera Club on a weekly basis. We have Ladies Choir on a weekly basis, Horticultural Society, as and when necessary, but usually on a monthly basis, as the Over 50s Forum on a monthly basis. Women's Fellowship haven't come back as yet because some of those are elderly and they want to wait a little bit longer before they feel safe to coming in. We also have a new group called Blenavon Youth Strategy team, which we are working with the community police officers and safety officers to try and encourage young people off the streets. They don't all come into the chapel and the schoolroom, but it's used as a meeting place for trustees and board members.
So going forward, what are going to be your future priorities?
Future priorities as a church are having some new windows, a new door, getting it all painted and hopefully reopening as a church I'd like to think Easter next year. That would be brilliant. Obviously, still a lot of work to be done. Still, we have to rely on finances and donations, but it's not for the want of trying and the hard work and the support we've had of officers who've managed the project, local community, and people who have worked with the grant and the Welsh Government officers. A big thank you. All right.